Hello and welcome to the 2022 Formula One Belgian Grand Prix. I am choosing the Ferrari and I'm going to get to the upgrade costs in just a few seconds here. I'm going to do all the upgrades I need to finish the last race before I do the first race. 2.44 million M dollars, 518 gold, which, yeah, that is a little expensive for this type of an event, but not very expensive for such an amazing car. In fact, I'm going to fully upgrade this one pretty quick after this event because these are amazing cars, and the driving experience is really not that bad for the cost when you compare this to many other cars in the game. Anyhow, and with the Invitational Series coming in update 11.1, that's the very next update, I don't mind. I see this car, the Ferrari, is one of the top cars in time trials. I already have the Mercedes. By the way, you saw the drifting I just did. Well, full of skid, not really a drift. You can actually warm up your tires faster if you skid while on track. It's kind of weird. Anyhow, I looked through the time trials to see which are the most popular cars and finishing in the top. And it's Ferrari, it's Mercedes, and then there's a bit of Red Bull. And they're all pretty close, so certainly driver has something to do with it. But it looks like if you're comparing apples to apples, that the Ferrari's going to have a little bit of an edge. And yeah, I'm still doing some more drifting. I'm going to get my tires warmed up. They warm up pretty fast when you do a lot of skidding like that. Now, inversely, if you go slide off track, they will deteriorate. You'll lose some of that. So you got to be a little bit careful there. Ooh boy, drifting poo on corner is always fun. All right, so you know the first race, pretty big joke of a race. Honestly, you just finish a lap. That's not too hard to do. That's Spa. In case you're wondering, I race with all my assists off, so I've got no brakes, no steering, no traction. And if you want to get the most out of a car like this, yeah, that's what you got to do. That's how you're going to get the most out of this type of a car. And Spa, by now you probably ran this track a lot. Not a very, well, I shouldn't say that. This is a difficult track to master, but no real surprises, especially in the Formula One cars. But we'll see what kind of surprises they've got for us. Yeah, do a little bit of dramatic finish. I'll speed through this stuff, but a little bit of, see my final screen there. And what do we have next here? Love the instant R&D and the servicing. A lot of people don't realize that in the early days of special events, that never happened. So we'd be watching piles of ads to service our cars, sometimes between every single race, because you'd get 2 or 3 lap races at Le Mans, and yeesh. This one's pretty easy. Just got to stay behind the dude for 45 seconds. Not very difficult. The beautiful thing about adding all those upgrades right away is that it's not hard to win these stages. The downside is you can end up really bashing into someone if you're trying to stay hooked up, because you're just going to be so much faster than they are. But whatever. Not a big deal. I don't think there's going to be much difficulty in day one. I can't remember there ever being difficulty on the first day of a special event. So we'll see what we got here. 45 seconds coming up. There we go. Just like that. I'm glad the race ends when you get there. Let's get on to the third race of stage 1. And again, none of this is really all that difficult. So I'm curious. I don't use assists ever. So, well, okay, once in a while I use steering assist high on Indy Speedway and Daytona Speedway. Just the speedways, not the road tracks. Anyhow, if you're flying through Eau Rouge Radion, which is where we just went through there, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'll point it out again in the next race. I'm curious if your car is braking if you're using brake assist. Because that's the one bad thing about brake assist. Well, there's a lot of bad things. But one of the bad things is that sometimes the car will brake where you don't need brakes. And then you're really losing speed. Ooh, that was a little bit off track. And yeah, so even like here, like poo on corner in this car, nah, there's no need for brakes. I mean, oopsie. I wasn't expecting him to slow down that much. Oh, that was pretty atrocious. Once you get fully upgraded, you can still take poo on corner flat out in this car, but it gets a little bit trickier as you get higher upgrades and more speed. It is possible though. I know I was doing it in the Mercedes, so I'm pretty sure I can do it in this one because this car seems to have a slightly better time at Spa. So we'll see here. I was hoping to get first place before this is over, but I'm coming to the end of the lap already. Wait a second. Oops. Oof, that was horrible. 0 of 1 laps. So I still have another lap to go. Okay, oh my goodness, what is with these guys? They're hitting the brakes so strange. Okay, the corner I'm coming up to right away is the famous Eau Rouge Radion section. So Eau Rouge is this, Radion is that, going through it now. So I'm curious, if you're driving with a brake assist on, is it braking for you? Are you being forced to brake a little bit? You might not even know it, but if you compare my speed at the top versus yours, you might find that. Now you'll notice that I didn't choose the speed option when I was doing the upgrades. That's just because I'm trying to show you the cheapest way possible to do it. So that's the way I did it, was the cheapest way. So, I mean, you could do it other ways and get a better performing car and spend a little bit more gold. I fully intend, I'm going to fully upgrade this thing right away, but I want to show you what it's like with minimum upgrades. So, minimal. This is the least you can do and still finish this event. So that's what I wanted to show you, and rather than, I just like the additional earnings you get by finishing as high as you can, so that's why I like to buy them before I do one race. Now the way I know that this will work is the very first thing I did is I skipped all the way to the end of the event to see what the final PR would be, because the PR requirements vary by car, so you don't really know. So that means that, yeah, I bought gold to skip through all the stages and then I did a restore. As long as you don't buy any upgrades and you do a restore, there's no consequences. You got to make sure you cloud save before you do all that jazz, and you're just going to cause a mess for yourself. Okay, last race of stage 1. And kind of weird. Starting us way back here and finish a lap. Whatever. So just finish before your timer runs out, which is honestly quite a joke. I'm finishing under 1 minute 30 seconds with these upgrades. So I've got 2 minutes 30 seconds. There's no way I was a minute away from the end of this lap. So I'm not anticipating much of an issue. Although there is traffic, and that was a horrible trajectory through there, but I didn't have too much of a choice. So it looks like I'm basically going to have 2 minutes to do a lap. Well, that's a joke. What I'd like to see is, can I get myself up in first place? I think you could do 2 minutes, well, no upgrades at all. 2 minutes would be easy, even doing that in the Academy car or the R3 Sport, whatever it's called. By the way, those cars that are kind of the base, not really base cars, exhibition type of cars, they're a lot of fun in this game because they've got a different balance to them. So not as much speed, a little heavier on the grip. So man, they're fun. They're really grippy cars. The Academy car came out years ago. And then there was the, currently I can't remember what it's called, but I think it was for 2021 that we had that car. Both fabulous cars, pretty cheap to max out. You don't need any gold. I don't think you do. I'm pretty sure you don't need any gold. If I'm wrong, let me know. But for these cars, you definitely do. I'm talking about the 2 lesser cars. So anyhow, fun cars to have if you are trying to earn M dollars and you don't want to spend any gold. Although, okay, invitational series are coming. So one thing about farming is you want to do it in the invitational series because the fame pay is substantially more. Like we're talking 3.3 to 3.4 times more fame. So actually some of the best fame paying races in the game are actually in Formula 1 content. Now the best races aren't, but not too far down from the best races are these ones. Anyhow, that is going to bring us to the end of this video real quick. Please like and subscribe. Check out some other videos, update video, all that sort of jazz. Bye-bye now.